Hello everyone. Welcome once again to the 24th universe. I am Prathami and today I'll take you through the process of creating a web application using Django. Django is one of the most powerful and widely used web development frameworks. If you are a beginner and have no prior knowledge of Django or any other frameworks, this is the perfect place to start. I'll explain everything in the simplest way possible. In this video, I'll guide you through Django step by step and help you build a blog website using Django's built-in admin panel. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what Django is, but also learn how it works and how to create web applications effortlessly. In order to create interest in what we are learning today, let me tell you a story about Django. Once upon a time in 2003, a team of web developers at the Lawrence Journal World, a newspaper company, faced a big problem. They needed to build and manage web applications quickly to keep up with the fast-paced world of news publishing. Traditional web development was slow and inefficient, so two talented developers, Adrian Holovati, who was a skilled web developer and a journalist, and Simon Willison, who was a British programmer, decided to create a content management system, CMS, that would make web development faster, more structured, and reusable. They built a powerful framework that automated many tedious tasks like handling URLs, managing databases, and rendering web pages dynamically. This creation was so efficient that they decided to release it as an open source project, allowing developers around the world to use and improve it. In 2005, they officially released it to the public and named it Django, inspired by the famous jazz guitarist Django Reinhardt, known for his speed and elegance, just like the framework itself. To maintain Django's growth and ensure its development remains community-driven, the Django Software Foundation (DSF) was established in 2008. Today, Django remains one of the most popular web frameworks used by developers worldwide to create everything from blogs to large-scale applications like Instagram, Pinterest, and Mozilla. Django is a high-level Python web framework that allows developers to build secure, scalable, and maintainable web applications quickly. Now, what is a framework? Let us understand this in a better way. A framework is a pre-written collection of code that provides structure and tools to help developers build applications more efficiently. It acts as a foundation so that developers don't have to start coding everything from scratch. Let me explain with an example. Suppose you want to build a website. Without a framework, you would have to write all the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and backend logic from scratch. You need to manually handle user authentication, database connections, and security. But if you use Django, a Python framework, it automatically provides user authentication, database handling, and security features. You need to only focus on writing your unique website logic instead of reinventing the wheel. A web framework is essentially a collection of tools and libraries that help developers create web applications without having to write every single feature from scratch. So, instead of worrying about how to handle user authentication, database interactions, or security, Django provides built-in solutions to handle these complexities. Furthermore, Django follows the Model View Template (MVT) architecture, which helps organize code efficiently. The framework is also known for its batteries included approach, meaning it comes with many built-in features to speed up development. Now, what is MVT? Model View Template or MVT is similar to the traditional MVC architecture, which is used in many frameworks like Flask, ASP.NET, and Spring. MVC stands for Model View Controller. Here's how it works. In MVC, the controller handles the user request, decides what data to fetch from database and sends it to the user via view. But how MVT is different? In Django's MVT, controller's role is automated. The user interface UI is also separated into templates instead of being mixed with logic, and the view takes care of the logic. So, in MVT, M stands for model. This is the data layer. It defines how data is structured and stored in the database using Django's Object Relational Mapping (ORM) system. V stands for view. This is the business logic layer. It processes user request, interacts with the model, and maps data to the template. T stands for template. This is the presentation layer. It defines how the data is displayed in HTML format using Django's template language. How it works. A user makes a request by visiting a URL. An HTTP request calls upon the view directly to fetch the relevant template along with the required data. The view may fetch data from the model, that is the database, using Django's ORM. The data is filled in the template using Django's template language and returned to the user. One thing to add here, many beginners get confused because if Django automates everything, then what is the need of the view? Look, we now know that Django provides built-in authentication, that is, say for example, the code for login is pre-written in Django, but in order to make that useful, we need to write @login required in our code to control access to our pages. And this is the logic that the view takes care of. I hope it makes sense. So, Django makes it easier for the beginners because most of the controller functions are automated and the developer only needs to focus on the data, that is model, logic, that is view, and the data presentation, that is a template, leaving the rest of the tasks to Django. Object Relational Mapping, in short ORM, is a technique that allows developers to interact with the database using Python classes instead of writing SQL queries manually. Why use ORM? There are several reasons. The first is, it eliminates the need to write raw SQL queries, makes database operations easier and more readable, works with multiple database systems, that is SQLite, Postgres, MySQL, etc., and provides built-in security against SQL injection, which is the most common web hacking techniques. Django ORM works by allowing you to define database tables using Python models in models.py. You can see the example here of SQL code and Python code. Django is used by developers for many reasons, such as rapid development. It allows developers to create web applications quickly. Security. Django includes built-in security features to protect against common vulnerabilities. Scalability. It's used by companies like Instagram, Spotify, and Pinterest because it can handle large amounts of traffic. Versatility. You can use Django to build simple websites, complex web apps, REST APIs, or even AI-powered applications. Other popular web frameworks include Flask, a lightweight Python framework for smaller projects. Ruby on Rails, a framework written in Ruby known for its developer-friendly environment. Express.js, a JavaScript-based framework often used for backend development and REST API creation. Laravel, a PHP framework used for web applications. ASP.NET, written in C# and VB.NET, used for enterprise applications. Node.js, a JavaScript and C++ framework used for real-time applications. Each framework has its advantages, but Django is preferred for Python developers who want a structured and feature-rich solution. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of our Django tutorial. We've covered the basics, what Django is, why it's used, and how it stands out from other frameworks. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into building our blog website step by step, exploring Django's admin panel, important files, and the MVT architecture in action. So, if you don't want to miss part 2, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Thanks for watching and see you in next one.